TexAF, the ultimate horror, wrestling deathmatch and action figure podcast, starts now.
Yes, welcome motherfuckers once again to live TexAF. And guess what I'm bringing by? Bringing by another independent wrestling sensation. The one, the only Sam Stackhouse.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
No problem, man. I just figured, man, I met you at the SCP show. We had a good little conversation. You're like, hell yeah, I'll do a podcast. I noticed you do a podcast as well.
We do a little streaming stuff, so yeah, it's been fun.
Oh, you do streaming?
Yeah, I love doing them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, man, how's it going right now, man? You got a bunch of bookings coming up?
That's good. I actually got this weekend off. We'll just be chilling at the house.
Nice.
So, but then got a pretty busy October coming up. So I'll be down in Houston next week, and then I got to bust ass and get back to Oklahoma for a 2:30 show next Saturday after
wrestling.
Are
you a
Houston.
Texas native or are you?
I live in Oklahoma.
Oh, you're right next door.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're where it's legal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not that fake shit.
Yeah, it's wild. I feel bad when I come down there because people tell me some of the prices and whatnot. I'm like, bro, I live in a small town of 13 or 14 dispensaries.
Oh fuck, dude. That's where I'm from because originally I'm from Northern California.
Yeah.
San Francisco Bay Area, and I lived in a town called Vallejo.
Yeah.
We went bankrupt for like a decade, and then they legalized weed, and then the city fucking blew up.
Oh, yeah.
And then it got unaffordable because of the fucking gentrification.
I see. Ours. We just have medical. We don't. It's not rec here yet or anything. So
yeah,
because they just voted that down. They voted for it a few weeks ago and it got voted down. But yeah, it's still because the price just fell out. Because when I first got my card about 3 years ago, it was a little expensive. But there's stuff now that was like $55 then. That's like $2 or $3 now. It's wild.
No shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, because I know, like, I go to New Mexico from time to time. No, I'm not located in Texas, but I go to New Mexico sometimes, and I hit a dispensary out there and pick up something. Nothing's like California, though, man.
I've been disappointed. Now I'm spoiled in Oklahoma because I've been disappointed everywhere I've gone so far because it's the prices and just the way they do things. Stuff like in Oklahoma, you can smell it, touch it, taste it, you can do everything.
Yeah,
it's so crazy. And like I saw something that we have more in Oklahoma, we have more dispensaries than California, Washington, and like Oregon or whatever, or Washington, Colorado, and California combined.
I wouldn't have thought that. Like
just in Oklahoma, yeah, it's wild.
I wouldn't have thought that at all. Yeah,
we have the best law or the most lax laws. There's like 12,000 licensed grows in Oklahoma, but each like when you have your medical card, you're allowed to grow at your house, and you don't have to be licensed. So that's just 12,000 license when on top of everybody growing at their house now. It's great. My neighbor's got some in his backyard. It's wild.
That's gnarly, dude.
Yeah.
Like the only thing much I know about Oklahoma is Tulsa. That show with fucking Sylvester Stallone.
Yep. Well, I live in a small town right outside of Tulsa.
But that's pretty good. Anyways. Yeah. So wrestling wise, a lot of people may not know you. You're kind of new on the scene. So like, how long have you been independently wrestling?
I've been wrestling. Next month will be 14 years since I've been wrestling.
14 years, damn.
Yeah.
You've been wrestling long before the GCW Matt Cardona thing.
Oh yeah.
See, that was a good goddamn sell, dude. Because I've wrestled before, but I seriously thought you were just like some random fan at first, and I was booing with a lot of other people, like, who the fuck is this guy? You know. So how did that come about?
Yeah. Well, I was playing Madden on my PlayStation. Then I got a message from Brett Lauderdale saying that he was promoter at GCW, and that he like people had sent him some of my clips and stuff. He's had a few clips go viral and shit. Yeah. And I guess somebody had sent him to him, and he said he wanted to work together, but like he said just wouldn't have made sense. And then it just happened like it was maybe 2 weeks later or something like that. They announced that they're coming to Texas. So I texted him and I was like, hey, I'll come down there and help set up the ring, do whatever, just to hang out. Like I wasn't expecting to get booked or anything. So I went down there. Show came on, went down there, and then met him and everything. And then he asked me if I brought my gear, and then didn't say anything to me. And then like a couple hours later, something like that, another one of the guys named Facade got there and asked what he was doing. And then Brett said, wrestling this guy, and pointed to me. And that's when I found out I was booked for GCW. And that was in July. Yeah. And then about a month or so after that, I got another message, asked me to come to Vegas. And then I had no idea what I was doing. He just said, if I have a reason, can you come to Vegas? I was like, if I have to walk, I'll fucking be there.
Yeah.
So I got there and then found out that we were doing that Cardona thing. And it was pretty crazy.
That's fucking insane, dude.
It was wild. Yeah. Cause it was just, to that day, up to that time, that was the biggest crowd I'd ever been in front of too. So that was
you're like you're like, because like I just didn't hear about you till then.
Yeah,
because so it's like relatively unknown, like guy that's been fucking paying dues and hitting roads and slapping mats, fucking, and you get the rub. You get to get in the ring with like the biggest guy in the fucking indies now.
Yeah, and in like a thing that's gonna like. That whole thing you did where you dressed like Vince and stuff, that's like a little indie historical moment now, and I got to be part of that, so it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, dude. Like when you got in there, is it like the overwhelming, since it's the largest crowd, you get that experience of just like the butterflies in the stomach? Or
well, I mean, I get nervous in front of the same nervous I get in front of 15 is in front of 1500 or 2 that like I get nervous before every match. So I was already I might have been freaking out a little extra. But yeah, it was like I tell people, like it's in my brain. I mean, obviously it didn't happen overnight. I've been wrestling for almost 15 years, but like in my brain, it went from I was wrestling in front of 15 people in Oklahoma to then a couple months later I was wrestling at the Hammerstein Ballroom. So like it happened like it to me it happened overnight. But I think homie that did the commentary on GCW, he called me like the overnight or the 10-year overnight success or something like that.
Yeah.
And it made, but yeah, like it was wild being in that ring with him. And he's Cardona's he's a good dude too.
That's crazy.
Contrary to what most people think about
him. Where did you train at?
I trained at a local place over in Tulsa. They ran like I was at a party, and me and this guy started talking because he had a wrestling shirt on, and then he was like, there's a local place that runs every Saturday, and I was like, I'm sorry, you said what to me? So I started going to shows. I went to shows for about 6 months, and then they would plug like every show that they plugged the school at intermission all the time, and I never had the balls to go ask about it. And then one day I just went up there and talked about it. And the next Tuesday, I started wrestling training.
That's how it happens too. Like you just got this you had a party having a good time, and then you run into like a wrestling fan. It's like back when I was, because I'm in 42, so like back in the day it was like. You see somebody at a party rocking an NWO shirt or something.
That's exactly what he was wearing too. He was wearing the Red Wolf
Cat you bring up that conversation. Yeah. Next thing you know, the dude's like he's this wrestler named Boom Boom Kami, and he wrestled for the local wrestling company APW in Hayward. So under Roland Alexander, rest in peace, Roland. But he's like, yeah, man, because I was doing yarder shit. Because I'm pretty sure. Did you do yarder shit when you were younger?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. We used to have first blood matches and shit in the apartment complex before we knew it was work. So we used to just hit moves on each other till we got tired. Then we just punch each other in the nose so one of us bled.
See, that's how it was with me and my buddy Alcoholocaust. Like, I got into tape trading. So we're talking was it 94, 95? Like internet's just kind of a thing. It's not what it is now, and just fucking trading tapes. Like, what is Cactus Jack, IWA Japan, King of the Depth, boom. You see that shit, and then you start watching Onita and Funk and Matsunaga, and we started our yarding wrestling in his yard, and his yard is like in this tweaker ass neighborhood, like there's like broken meth pipes and shit type everywhere, dude. And we're out there doing deathmatch before every ECW pay-per-view.
Dang.
And then I met Boom Boom, and then he was like, "This shit's stupid. You shouldn't be doing that, kid. You should do this to come get trained." And blah blah blah. He's like, "Yeah, this fucking Hayward, this place is king of the indies, big shit." And it was like, "Oh, all right." And then I started going to shows, and then I seen a guy called Vic Grimes there.
Oh, yep.
And he was doing the hardcore shit in the garage, like climbing up the side of the garage and then tumbling off and shit like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know exactly how that itch and that's
I found Vic Grimes. I used to go up to the mall to was it like Sam Goody or FYI, one of those. I can't remember which one it was, but they would have all the XPW DVDs, and I would buy those. And I remember seeing Vic Grimes on there all the time.
Yeah, dude.
Him and Pogo the Clown doing wild stuff.
Fucking Jim Applebomber, Pogo the Clown. Like when I was doing my training, that dude scared the shit out of me. Like on a real shoot, dude. Like he wrestled like this one dude, Drago. He goes by Simon Gotch now, or whatever. And the Drago dude was a douche to everybody, dude. And then, like he got in the ring with Pogo, and Pogo just gave him that one lariat, like decapitating him, like knocking him unconscious. And I've been scared of that dude ever since. Even when I booked him on my own show, I'm just like kind of hesitant to talk to him and shit. I'm like. You're the one dude that fucking scares me.
And some of these deathmatch dudes are real motherfuckers too. So it is kind of some of them are scary in real life.
What are some of the deathmatch, big deathmatch names that you've danced with? I guess would use that term.
So I got to be in there with Hoodfoot and Satu Jin, Casanova Valentine. Got to work him. That was awesome. Well, Hardbody. He's doing that wild shit in XPW.
Needle dick.
He have like a needle in his ween and shit.
I can't get over that spot either, dude.
Yeah, dude,
like that fucking spot killed me. I was like,
crazy.
fuck.
But yeah, I think those. There's an up and Dmitry Alexandrov. He's a up and comer in the deathmatch scene. Me and him had a deathmatch down in Houston.
Mike Hoodfoot. He's been making
big
waves
in
sure,
deathmatch
the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like he was Mo Atlas right beforehand, and he was just doing like straight wrestling shit. But he only did deathmatch 2 years, and that dude looks like he's been in Japan.
Bro, he's been through.
Dude.
He goes out because the match we were in. I mean, that was the first match I'd done everything. I'd done like fire, barbed wire, fire, barbed wire, like all kinds of shit. But I'd never done tubes until that match. That was my first match doing tubes, and it was pretty.
Yeah.
There was a lot of. He had the. I can't remember what he called it, but I said yes to it before I even knew what the hell it was. The Kaiju Towers or whatever, like the face with the tubes and the longer tubes or whatever. We had one of those in there now, so that was pretty intense. But yeah, dude, he's cool. Satu Jin's killing it right now. Like I said, yeah, there's been those are probably the most those are probably the and I Masada worked Masada too.
Yeah,
had a death match with him. Took the skewers. That sucked.
They tickle when you pull them out, though, man. I remember my ex-wife when she was hanging out with me and my old buddy Alcoholicost, so we used to wrestle and shit, and we were just getting drunk doing this fucking skewer thing.
Yeah.
And then she comes out and she's like, "Fucking do it to me!"
Oh
and
man!
I was like, "Damn, they're just kind of just savage shit."
That's savage, yeah, dude. Yeah, those are intense. Intense.
But like, so, what favorite companies have you worked for? Like, what is like some of your favorite like companies to go and shoot for?
I mean, Loco's always fun. Anything in Houston is always pretty fun. Right now, I had a great time down there at Squared Circle Pro. That's my first time there. I had a good time down there. The whole experience was great.
Yeah.
A lot of matches. A lot of matches on it.
Dude, there's way too many matches on the card.
A lot of matches on the show, but it was. I mean, they were all good though, so I guess that's a good thing.
I mean, he runs like 13, 14 matches on a card.
Yeah,
because I've only been out here for about a year now, so I've probably been about maybe 3 or 4 of those shows, and that's the thing that always gets me. I was like, it just runs way too long.
Yeah.
I like sometimes you just got to tell them that they're not booked, or book a battle royale.
Yeah,
like just have everybody get in there. They could do in 2 minutes, get their shit in, go over the top rope. You figure out who goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the one thing, dude. Like it always gets me. So that's why I showed up at 7:30.
Yeah.
And then I seen you wrestling. It was like your match.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this motherfucker looks familiar. I'm like, and then I heard some Stackhouse.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's the dude. Have you always?
And then GCW, I mean, every time I go GCW, I'll be back there with them next month. So every time I go there, it's fun. I've gotten to do them in Vegas twice, and then Jersey and Hammerstein. I was on the Hammerstein Ballroom show, so like GCW has been dope too. Hopefully, they come back to Texas too.
You gonna get in try to get into TOD?
Hey, I mean, I'm still dabbling. I'm still in the dabbling phase of the deathmatch.
Well, no, I happen to know a guy named Kevin Brandon. I can get you into the fucking the IWA Deep South shit, the fucking Carnage Cup. What the fuck is it? Carnage Cup shits or whatever he calls it, where fucking John Rare gets his thumbtack cut off.
Jesus.
Yeah, but like,
that's above my pay grade.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I don't even think that anybody gets paid. Dude. I think that's literally a hot dog and a handshake. And it's not even.
There's a deathmatch tournament down in Houston. I've done twice, and that because last year it was me, Casanova, and Hardbody in that match, and then this year was me, Hoodfoot, and Satu Jin in the triple threat. So
yeah,
that's the only deathmatch tournament I've done. But
2 bad boys right there, Satu Jin and fucking Hoodfoot to be in the ring at the same time.
Yeah. Especially like I said, I'm still new to the real deathmatch stuff because like I've always done like hardcore matches in Oklahoma. We have a commission. So there's only so much I've always been allowed to do, and I've been threatened by the commission many times. I've pushed as far as I could down here.
I think a lot of people don't understand that. Some states run it like it's an actual like
Yeah. In
athletic
Oklahoma, we have to do
sport.
physical blood work. We have to do all this stuff in Oklahoma
Like
and have licenses
California,
and
I
stuff.
think they get away with some leniency. I think
Yeah.
they call it stunt work or theater.
California, Texas, like they're pretty much the wild. Texas
Yeah,
is
it's
the Wild
like
West.
theatrical fucking expedition or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But they get away with it. But
I
a
know,
lot of
like,
people don't understand that. I'm like,
yeah,
yeah,
because
like
New York's a tough one. Louisiana's
can't
a tough
believe
one.
there. Fuck, can't believe
Missouri,
New York.
yeah. The rules in New York City are wild because if you go back and watch any like GCW pay for anything from New York, you notice they still hit each other with chairs and stuff. But every time they hit each other with stuff, they throw it because you're allowed to throw things and hit people. But you can't, like, they can't hold on to it and hit them with it. They have to let go of it before it hits them. And I was like, what the fuck? That seems more unsafe.
Right? Like it's a
now we're just throwing shit at each other.
throw a chair wildly. Fuck it.
Yeah. But
If it hits them in the fucking eye, oh well. Like I haven't got no control.
Some of these commissions are wild.
It's weird, like the whole no blood thing. I'm like, isn't that like ECW old stomping ground? Like made it big out there. ICW before the no holds bar shit when they were kind of like getting all the ECW guys in there. A lot of people don't even remember that shit either, man. I'm like, there was other shit before no holds bar, man.
For sure.
Yeah. So how old are you?
33 now. Yeah.
Okay, so you're 10 years younger. But you're still kind of within the same kind of time frame of wrestling.
Yeah.
The big boom.
My brother got me into wrestling when I was young, so I've been watching it for a while.
Yeah, the big boom of wrestling. Yeah. Fuck, man. It's pretty cool. I'm trying to think of other shit because I just go off the cuff and just shoot shit. I'm like, I don't want to be too formal, but I'm like trying to get shit that, other people don't have. Like, what do you do for fun?
Play video games. I homeschool my daughter. That's a little known fact about me. But yeah, I've ever since this wrestling stuff has gone crazy the past couple of years, it's been a pretty much dream life. I've living a dream, as they say.
I
was a truck driver. Yeah, no, I was a truck driver before this. Nice. So like I was already used to the traveling and all that stuff, and then I had that stuff go viral on TikTok and everything, and then the bookings just started coming, and then took that opportunity. Like I said, the first I got a daughter, she's 8 now, and in 3rd grade, the first 5 years of her life, I was gone. Like I was gone during the week, and then on the weekends I was wrestling. So there was a lot of time gone. So now I get to make up for that since I get to stay home and stuff. So yeah, it's been dope, and it's all because like I sit home, I make all my own merch, and I make other people's merch, and that's my job. I make stickers, and rolling trays for a living. And I get to
I've seen some of that swag there. Yeah. I did some t-shirt designs for certain people, like Spider Boudreaux, rest in peace. Fucking good dude, Spider. But that's crazy. You're a truck driver. My dad was a long haul truck driver, so I know like the truck driving schedule growing up because like he wasn't around much.
Yeah, it's
like he'd be home like 1 or 2 days a week.
Yep.
Mom would be busy working, trying to maintain the house. As a kid, you get dumped off at like Little League or Boy Scouts, just wherever they could not deal with you for a couple hours so they can get other shit done.
Yeah.
So I know that loneliness, man. Like,
because I was gone. I'd be home. I'd leave the house at like 3 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning, and I'd get home at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon on Friday, and usually immediately just drop all my shit off and take a shower, and then get to whatever show I had Friday night, and then the rest of Saturday, and then Sunday I'd be just getting ready to go back out.
Because that's the one thing like I was always taught, because I used to do a lot of partying and music and shit like that, so I did a lot of shows. Was a one old guy before he had a stroke. One of the good things he said, he's like, dude, you're a good dude. He's like, you got a kid. They're only young once. And now my son's 14 and he's a fucking asshole.
Like I said, I've gotten to do that all kinds of wrestling, so it's been pretty fun. It's been pretty cool.
I kind of wish he was into wrestling. He's not too big into it. Like he grew up watching me do the deathmatch shit, the barefoot tax and shit. So he's just kind of like, I don't want to do that. Like power drill spots. Like fuck power drill spot. Fuck that dumb shit. I don't know why I ever did that.
Eager to go to her first death match, and then she didn't not like it. It was at Loco, and it was in the middle of summer, and it was just too hot. So that's what she was more complaining about. She's been watching me bleed since she was what, 2 weeks old the first show she came to. So she's been watching me bleed since she was dang near born. So
I remember this when he was in TK, transitional kindergarten, when he just before he became 5, so he can go to kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
Teacher's like, what does your dad do? He's like, oh, my dad kills people because he's like, oh, my dad, that shit.
Damn.
Dude, you do not want to sit through that parent teacher fucking conference. Like, no, that's not what it is. But this is what. How do I explain this without it sounding like I fall on thumbtacks for a living?
Yeah. And that was another reason why I'm lucky about the homeschooling thing, because she and like because she still meets with like a class every week. So, but she's gonna end up having the same like teacher that she meets with every week she's been in. Basically, what happened was we took her out we didn't even take her out whenever the COVID hit, and they started doing like they were going to school this week. They're like, oh, just kidding. Yeah. And we just decided we like our schedule and stuff. Then like that was when I was still driving the truck and stuff, and we just couldn't handle the back and forth, not know what's going on. So we just decided to just keep her do the homeschool thing, and enrolled in the little homeschool program.
Dude.
Yeah, and it's been, but I mean, it's been. Well, she's not even officially with the schools and stuff anymore, because in Oklahoma, that's another thing in Oklahoma. Everybody like it's low key kind of cool here, and everybody thinks Oklahoma we all still live in teepees and shit down here. But we just got the good beer, we got the weed. Like now it's okay for like they just made a couple years ago where it's okay for chicks to walk around without shirts on in public, and it's just all good. Like it's crazy over here. But we also have the easiest homeschooling laws too, because literally the only rule is your kid has to go to school 160 days out of the year.
How's the gun laws there?
It's the South, so I'm assuming they're pretty good.
The same as Texas?
I imagine so. Yeah. I don't think
you can buy the shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
First couple months out here is like, oh, dude, I can buy an AR-15. Holy shit! All right.
They sell them in the pawn shops here. They sell them everywhere here. So
hey, son, we're moving to Oklahoma.
Yeah, dude, Oklahoma's not bad. It's not bad down here, man. It's not bad right now. It's crazy, and it all came out of because remember when I've grown up here a lot. Like we moved around a lot when I was a kid, but we always we'd move somewhere for a little bit, but we always move back here and then move somewhere for a little bit and then come back here or whatever. So I've always spent pretty much my whole life here, and I don't remember it being like that when I was younger. But we got casinos, we got everything.
Yeah, my parents, that's where they're at this week right now.
Yep.
I had a casino out there on the Indian River. I'm not sure which one. It's like the big one, I guess.
Probably, I think the WinStar is the biggest one.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest casinos in the country.
That's the one they try to get me to go to, and I'm like, I don't gamble.
Yeah, I'm not a big I like to go drink all the free pop and shit. That's about what I like to chill.
Like if they have a wrestling show like midget wrestling, I'm down. Let me go see that shit.
Got to wrestle at a few casinos. I recently did a pop convention thing at a casino here in Oklahoma City, or there in Oklahoma City. Nice. It was pretty cool. Kane was there. That was pretty dope.
Kane.
Yeah.
Oh, I like to call him Glenn now because
Glenn. Yeah.
He's like some kind of
he definitely
mayor
look like
politician
Kane, but Yeah. He was the mayor of Knox County, I think it is.
Hey,
I found his book at Dollar Tree like the week before the show, so I imagine that's not.
He's still fake Diesel to me, man. He's still fake Diesel to me. Shit, that's crazy. Like, so doing like a lot of your thing, like a lot of independent shows. Like, there's lots of like old veterans that have been on the roads for decades, dude. What are some of the old timers you've come across, like old ex WWE guys, like shit like that?
Well, I mean, there's let's see. I mean, I've talked with Jeff Jarrett one time. He's probably the biggest one. Mick Foley. I got to hang out with Mick Foley. That was pretty crazy because he was doing a signing thing here, and like the comic book store that hooked it up, they're like fans, so they were good. They were cool to me. But I was coming back from the Hammerstein show. And like Matt Cardona had made a Twitter status or whatever, and it was like fuck Sam Stackhouse and fuck Mick Foley, and like tagged us both in it. So like when I met Mick Foley, he recognized me, which I almost fucking cried. I had to take a lap because Mick Foley's like he's one of my OGs.
Oh, so, dude, he's one of the kings. But
I got to hang out with him for about 3 hours, and he low key changed the way I view wrestling and everything, and like taught me a lot without even meaning to. Because like he went through this line, and there was probably 200 people there that he talked to, but he made every single one of those 200 people feel like they had like their own little moment with Mick Foley. Because like when he was talking to a person in front of him, that other 200 people in that line didn't even fucking exist to him, and he was just focused on that person. They would move along, then he'd be focused on, like it was wild to watch. Like
that's like a lot of shit that's very rare. There's a lot of people that are very unapproachable. You know, you're paying for the meet and greet or whatever. You have a press badge, you're going to interview them. But then they just come across and you're just kind of like, Nah,
Yeah,
nah,
yeah,
nah.
they're there because they have to be there. But he seemed like he was there because he genuinely wanted to be there. And like I said, he made every single person, and then had energy after he was done doing all those people to make me feel like I was having like a
You know how you super bra what Mick Foley did?
yeah, like it was wild. Dude.
Love Christmas, dude.
Yeah,
And
oh
wear
for
a
sure.
Santa suit, be like, Mick, dude, I'm so interested. I want to run a gimmick of like a hardcore Santa for Christmas. And I really need kind of your advice and how your approach of it would be like if Cactus Jack was Santa Claus with a little bit of dude love sprinkled in there. And dude, you'd be the next Mick Foley, dude.
I can't believe he never did that. But and then Abyss was fantastic for me. Like I got to run like a little feud with him. I still talk to him this day. He changed changed the way, like, because it was all a bunch of timing too. It was right after I got done with the Abyss stuff that's kind of when stuff started to pop off and stuff, because he's a wealth of knowledge for any wrestlers that can ever sit under his learning tree and stuff. Like he knows, like he's fantastic. So he was huge, and also that was huge for me because again, I blew my back out in my very first match in 2009 trying to do the shock treatment move he used to do. Like back where he had him in the torture rack and he took an ass, he sat down on his ass and like the backbreaker thing.
Yeah,
I blew my fucking back out in my first match doing that move. So like I'm a huge Abyss guy, so getting to chill with him was cool. And now currently he's not an old dude, but Jacob Fatu is becoming one of my best friends on the scene right now. He's dope. Fuego Del Sol, another one of the newer guys. He was at the show.
Yeah, I got the Fuego fucks chant going.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's not PG. I'm like, does nobody watch the vlogs like Sammy?
Yeah, no, he's not. Yeah, he enjoys doing those shows because he didn't get to do them very often because
AEW, Dustin Reynolds' son.
Oh yeah. But yeah, there's a lot, but there's all the GCW guys. I mean, they welcomed me in from the first day I was there. So I mean, there's been so many guys out here that are absolutely great people, and it's been dope to even be around them, like, and much less them treat me like I belong there with them and stuff. So
that brings me to this question now. Who are the top 5 worst people you've come across in wrestling?
Oof.
I'm putting you on the spot, man.
Like personally to me or just in general?
Like just in general, like because everybody has those annoyance levels or certain types of levels of people that can tolerate for a certain point of time, or people that come across as fucking assholes.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. The only like big name that's ever like that treated me, or not even, I don't even know if it was personal or anything, but Christopher Daniels was kind of a dick to me. But other than that, like other ones have really been a dick to me. I've seen people be dicks to other people, but really, I've been really lucky. Like I haven't had anybody treat me bad and I try to make sure that if they treat me bad, people know that there's something wrong with them, because I don't try not to do anything to anybody who's gonna make them treat me bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's really been the only bad, and I was down at Loco, which I mean everybody was frustrated. It was a long ass show, but let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any. I mean, there's some local people that I got some heat with.
Just drop it, dude. Let's just drop it. Drop the heat out here.
There's a local dude named Justin Lee. Okay. Not a fan. No, yeah, most people I'm not a fan of are local people, and like mainly that's because he tried to. Me and my buddy named Chris Morrison had Oklahoma's first death match back in April, and like it wasn't even that big a deal. Like it was just no one's ever called a death match here. Like I've been doing the thumbtacks. Me and my best friend, he's the best man at my wedding. I was the best man at his wedding. We fireballed each other. We used barbed wire thumbtacks. He curb stomped me into the thumbtacks. Yeah. I've taken a curb stomp on a running treadmill. Like I've done all kinds of shit. But this dude tried to call the commission and get our death match shut down because he said that he didn't want us to glorify violence. And I was like, brother, I don't know if you necessarily know what wrestling is, but it doesn't matter if I'm bleeding all over the place or I'm beating the shit out of somebody, like if I'm hitting moves on some guy. Wrestling glorifies violence. It's kind of that's why people like it. It gives them an escape to live through the wrestler, and like they get to pretend that wrestler's beating the shit out of their boss, and they don't have to go to jail for it.
Wrestling is redneck capoeira.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's the redneck version of capoeira, man.
It's one life to live for children and grown men.
Yeah.
So so he tried to get the whole thing shut down, but the commission ended up not giving a shit because they told us that we could do whatever we want as long as we didn't hit anything. So it didn't work out. But really, I've been pretty heatless, luckily. So, but there's a couple people. I only have 5. I got a. But they're all, like I say, they're all local. It's all local. Wrestling, for people who don't know, is one of the most drama-filled things that you can ever be a part of. even the fandom, like the fans there's drama between the fans I see all the time. There's drama between the wrestlers. There's drama between the wrestlers and the fans. Like
one time they'll be ribbing you and rubbing
so
you down a
crazy.
tiger bomb, throwing you butt naked into a hotel fountain.
Yeah. Next
The
time
next
they're
minute they'll be like,
apart
"Fuck that guy, dude."
Yeah, dude, it's so wild. It's wild. But
it's
change it.
the dysfunctional
Wouldn't change it
family
for the
you
world.
don't want to be in, but you get into because it's fun.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't change it because like I tell people too. Every time anybody gives me the chance to tell everybody, like everything that I love in my life, I've gotten from wrestling. Like my wife, me and my wife were together because about 10 years ago I was doing a show in the small town I live now, and the promoter made her my manager for absolutely no reason. But and I always make fun of her because I was legitimately upset about it back at the time because I was like, this is stupid, it makes no sense. But now I'm grateful for it because now 2 days ago was our 7-year wedding anniversary. We have an 8-year-old daughter, so that gave me wrestling.
Congratulations!
My best friend Drake Gallows is a professional wrestler. Like I met him at wrestling, and then like I said, he was the best man at my wedding. He's the godfather to my daughter. I'm the godfather to his daughter. And we were both best. Like so, I was best man at his wedding twice, which sounds bad, but he had a secret wedding in Vegas that my wife, and him and his wife went out there, and they got married. Didn't tell nobody, and then they had a wedding in front of. Now everybody knows, but then they had a wedding a year later in front of everybody else. So I got to do it again in front of everybody.
To backtrack it, to I know why the promoter books your wife as a manager because he was trying to impress the lady outside the ring.
I guess so.
Boom. You walked away with the prize. You're like,
yeah. Then about after we met, it was probably 5 or 6 years later we got married, or 4 or 5 years later. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the promoter who introduced us was the DJ at our wedding. So
it backfired on the promoter guy.
He was playing.
Curse you, Stackhouse.
He played the music for me to walk down the aisle. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, I think in my entire I have one friend that is not involved that I met outside of wrestling because I've been friends with him since I had my first job when I was 16. Yeah. And other than that, everything that I love in life is because of wrestling. I've gotten to see stuff that I never got to see if it wasn't for that. Yeah. Like I've gotten to meet people. Like I said, I hate sound like name dropping, doing that shit. But I talk to people. I've got people's numbers that I would have had to pay to talk to 2 years ago. Yeah, all just because of wrestling. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
See, that is one cool thing about it. Like, because when I did it, I was back early 99, 2001 when I went to the APW school or whatever. Yeah. And so a lot of the guys that are on TV now are they were in through the garage.
Yeah.
In and out back in the day. Like I remember that fucking dude Samoa Joe kicked me so hard I vomited in the ring. And I got in fucking trouble and had to scrub that shit out. Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because when I was going in and you have all those guys going, I was like, dude, I was never going to be that good. So I kind of fell over to the deathmatch shit. Yeah. And then I would just hit up whatever because the one thing that I learned was always have your gear in your car because card's subject to change regardless. Like you might not be booked, but you could show up. Maybe set up some chairs, help set up the ring. Yeah. Somebody doesn't show up. Mm-hmm. Hey, you got gear. Next thing you know, it's like a life changer. You know,
I went to that GCW show, that first GCW show down there in Houston, and I wasn't booked. I was just going to. They knew I was coming, but I wasn't booked. I didn't find I was booked till an hour before the show.
Yeah,
and that absolutely changed. That changed. I mean, that literally changed my life.
It's the whole trajectory, man. That one.
A lot of people use that phrase, but I cannot overstate how that doing the GCW shows and stuff changed my life.
If there's haters out there that are hating on that because they're like, "Oh, he just got the one lucky run," what would you say to your haters?
Listen, I normally up until real recently, like I've always been my biggest hater. Like I've been saying for the past 2 years that it was just luck. Like I was the right place, right time, blah blah blah. But like as I've had time to step back and look at it, is because I'm kind of good at professional wrestling. I've noticed like I've been able to create moments and stuff over the past this even before it went viral and stuff. I've been doing this stuff forever, and because it was real hard right here in Oklahoma because like I said it's the biggest drama thing, and it's the most I've ever talked about this, but I'm in a shooting mood today, so we're just going for it. Like, there was a lot of shit that I had to deal with here. Like, I've treated all these people around here with nothing but respect the past 15 years, and like every time, because I stopped wrestling in Oklahoma for a few months because every time I'd go, someone would send me a group text or something, or show me a group text of people talking about, well, I can do a moonsault. Why is Sam getting this, not me? And like, what I would say to that is, because the fact that you're sitting around worrying about shit like that, that's why it's happening to me, because I'm the one that's out here doing 22, 23-hour drives every weekend, driving thousands of miles every weekend to go get to do
road warrior, dude.
I'm making my own fucking merch. Like, I've done everything that I can to make sure that this is my job, and it didn't just happen. Like, what happened was, I did get lucky. Like, the right person obviously saw my clip, but that you could say the same thing to any person that's on TV right now. Because I always tell people too that I guarantee the very best professional wrestler, whatever that is, and that's a good thing about wrestling too, it's subjective. But whatever the best professional wrestler to you is, we'll probably never know we'll never know their name, because they're probably going to wrestle in some tiny place in some country somewhere that we've never even heard of, and we're never going to know who, like. But what happened? I got the look, and then I ran with it, and I didn't, like, I kept creating stuff. Like, I did the ring breaks. I've had. If you type in Sam Stackhouse on TikTok, it's almost to 10 million views. And there's not a lot of indie wrestlers that have that, and that's why this shit's happening for me, because I always, and I've talked to people about this too, and like other wrestlers, like, oh, I don't do social media like that. Talk to people, like, I'm only on here because I talked to you on last weekend.
Yeah,
you mentioned you did a podcast, and I was like, well, fuck, let me, like, I'm like,
yeah, dude, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm all
other dudes are gonna sit around and wait. Other dudes are gonna sit around and wait for people to ask them to do.
You know who I put behind you? I pushed away Drake Younger. Was going to be other stuff, but you took Drake's spot.
Dang.
But Drake's also having twins right now in the hospital.
Well, that's fair.
So he's going to be a little busy.
I'm but like, when he gets on there, I've been a fan of him for a while.
Yeah, dude.
Just
like
before he went and did the ref in NXT and stuff, I was a fan.
Because I wanted to talk to him a lot about, like, so what I like to talk to wrestlers about, like Homeless Jimmy and Dirty Ron, is like, you've used the internet and social media and it worked out positively for you.
Yeah.
But like, for a lot of the shit in the business now, the social media's toxicity level is just astounding, because you got guys getting blacklisted on allegatory fucking things with no police, no arrests, no nothing, by OnlyFans models, basically. Right. Selling content for a premium price. And I'm just like, I just understand. So I like going through, like, and seeing, like, what are your thoughts on the toxicity on the
I hate it. Like, it's social media is like, I always tell people too, like, I think that the internet, like, it helped the world in many ways, but I feel like it ruined the world in a lot of ways, because now, like, we're so connected, but I feel like we're also, like, the most divided and shit that we've ever been, and it blows my brain. But yeah, like, that's look at me. I have been posting internet or videos on the internet for years, and I'm not the smallest person. I'm half naked half the time. I have my shirt off half the time. So I've heard every comment, every shitty thing in the book out there. But like I said, I've always been my biggest like critic, anyways. So none of these dudes are saying anything I ain't said to myself before. But it's just like, especially being a professional wrestler, like, nowadays, the way that business is set up, you're not going to be successful unless you have an online presence. There's people that are on TV now simply because of their online presence. You know, so it's very important, but it's also awful, because, like, if you say the wrong thing, you piss off the wrong person, you're screwed.
I don't mean to be looking away.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
I'm gonna let you in on this embarrassing story. So I have a work truck, and I lock my keys at the work truck.
Oh shit!
And so, like, I'm waiting on the boss girl to come by and get it. So I keep hearing cars stop by and door slam, and I'm like, I don't know what he thinks that I'm, like, all jittery, all messed up. Like, yeah, man, I'm doing invisible bubble gum and shit. I'm like, fuck, I gotta get my kid to school in the morning, man. But so fucked, so sidetracked everything. It's like a squirrel moment.
No, but yeah, no, the internet is it's a fantastic. It can be a super helpful thing, but it can also just be the most mentally draining place on the planet.
To me, it's a lot like the internet, like the internet marks have kind of ruined fandom for wrestling.
Well, it's not like even anything. It's not just wrestling, it's everything.
Yeah.
Like the internet is so tribal and everything. If you don't like something, it's specifically how people tell you you're supposed to like it, you're automatically the bad guy.
They get
And
their
when at the end
cheeky
of the day,
shirts
all these people like that. Everybody likes wrestling. They like the same thing.
Yeah.
They like or the Marvel movies. Good God, have you seen the people fighting over the Marvel movies?
Oh my
Holy
God, they
crap.
shit all over DC
Yeah.
movies. Fuck those people.
I walked into a locker room one time. Speaking of more heat with Justin Lee, fucking, I walk in his locker room and he's over here arguing with these people about how the invisible fucking plane in the Wonder Woman thing doesn't make any sense. How they never get fuel and all this stuff. And I'm like, brother, we're in a wrestling locker room and you're supposed to be the vet around here. You don't think you could be like I don't know, laying some knowledge on somebody about something other than a goddamn invisible airplane and whether they put fuel in it? It's an invisible airplane, and we're arguing over whether they put fuel in it.
Be like, is it even a real plane? The bitch flies, bro. Like,
it's invisible. So obviously the fuel's in, like, who gives a fuck about that?
See,
but like if you don't,
I do a podcast and shit. So my response would have been like, "Oh, you're more worried about an invisible jet gassing up, not the fact that she raped a man for several months."
Right? No, that's fine. That's fine.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, like that's the problem with the internet. So it's so tribalistic. Which I mean, like I was listening to I don't know what it was. I was listening to some podcast today, and they were talking about how like our technology is like out. What's the word I want to use? Evolving us. Like where you have this technology that can do all this stuff, but at the end of the day, we're still just like the dumb apes that fucking just want to bunk each other over the fucking head and like smash all the time.
Everybody wants to be right. Like,
and
nobody wants to just fucking let it be. Like, just agree to disagree. You don't have to be right. Like, it's not about being right on the internet. Like, I use a fucking Muppet for my profile pic for Facebook and Instagram because to me, like, even though I do a podcast, I fucking hate social media. I'm like, I hate fucking having to do content, like having to put shit out there to constantly have eyes on it. But I'm like, then again, I'm fucking 3 years into a fucking podcast that I'm trying to make into a thing where I don't have to fucking work no more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like,
and
I'm sick of construction, dude. This shit's killing me.
That's the best thing about the world we live in, and the best thing about the internet is anybody can do that. Because like all it's going to take is the right person to see your podcast one day. That's all it takes. It takes one person to see it. That's the right person, and then
it also takes
somebody. Then they show somebody, but people
shameless promotion techniques by like, hey, this guy wrestled Matt Cardona. I'm going to get him on the show.
And
then you get some more eyes.
and that's, I mean, I guarantee there's a few people that are going to watch this that have no idea who I am. So that's why I volunteer to do these things. That's like,
and
plus like, you just, like I said, we only talked for about maybe 5 or 10 minutes, but you seem cool as shit at the show. And
you came across as a very cool, humble dude, like on the same pattern. I'm like, all right, this dude's a vibe, dude. Like this is cool. You know, the other guy, your photographer. I don't know if he's your photographer, buddy, but I was like, nah, man, I'm talking to him.
He's a good Raymond. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. I didn't even know he was from that because I've seen him. I've only seen him over in Dallas. He's been at the shows I've been at. I didn't know that he's from that. He's from that West Texas area. I didn't even know that till last weekend.
I don't even
know. He takes some good pictures though.
Yeah, I don't even know half the people from out here. I've like been out here a year, and I'm like, I go to wrestling shows and work and take my kid to school. I'm like, and go shoot guns and buy toys. That's it. You don't go to the bars and party. Are they having wrestling that night?
Right. Yeah, that's generally the only time I'm not a big drinker. Well, I don't really drink or take pills or anything. But I smoke a lot.
Don't do the pills, right?
But like, I don't really drink very often. I drink occasionally, but like it's usually more I babysit whatever drink it is.
when you do occasionally drink, what is your poison?
See, I like tequila. I love tequila. That's pretty much it. Like I like tequila and like margaritas and shit like that. Like I like lime stuff and like because really I've never really been a beer guy. The only beer I like is beer that has lime in it. So like I like the Mexican beers like the Dos Equis and stuff because they like and then I put lime in it. That's really the only way I drink beer, but I like tequila, and I used to be a vodka guy growing up. Like I used to be able to chug vodka.
Vodka was a poison when I was growing up.
And then Di Serono, I like Di. You ever had that?
Okay, that's like
so good. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's good.
It sounds like a liqueur.
Yeah, it's liqueur or whatever, but that's pretty good too.
Yeah. Like I've never been a beer drinker, but like if I'm down to like my last $2, I know PBR is always there for that one drink at the bar that
I've
you can sit there
never
and
had a
babysit.
PBR. The closest
Wow.
I've been to drinking a PBR was when Matt Cardona cracked that six pack over my face.
You know, dude,
That's the
you're not
closest I've been to PBR,
you're
and when he
not
was spitting
missing
it in
out
my
on much.
face.
You're not missing out on much.
Yeah, that's about it. Man.
It probably tastes better being spit in your face.
Probably he's a millionaire. I'd rather have a millionaire spit beer in my face than drink it.
Yeah, like
But yeah, I guess I got a fan at the local show gave me a bottle of tequila. I've been
nice.
slowly working on for the past like 5 months.
I mean, a lot of people they don't think that's like liquor. Hardcore alcohol is like made for sipping. You know, like
yeah.
gradually drink it because some of that shit is pricey. Because I'm a bourbon guy. Like I drink bourbon, like whiskeys, like Crown Royal.
Yeah. Oh, I love that Crown Royal was the apple one. I can just drink that right in the bottle.
Oh, get the fuck off my show. Apple.
You don't like that one? You don't like that one?
I like my Crown Royal tasting like Crown Royal.
Well, I mean, I like the regular one too, but I can just drink that apple one like it's freaking like it's water.
I always fuck with people when they order flavor like. At least you didn't say maple.
You don't
Or
know if I like that.
vanilla. Like I had a buddy fucking went to go get a bottle of Crown to fucking re-up because we just drank a whole one when we were students making some music, and he comes back with fucking Crown vanilla. And I was just like, what the fuck is this, man?
I definitely would have came back with some Crown apple. I'll be real with you.
I would have been like, fuck, oh well, I got some Fireball. We'll have flaming apple.
Oh, I can't even do Fireball. I got just the thought of drinking Fireball makes my stomach feel weird.
Fireball is
I can't do it no more.
Gen Z, the millennial Jägermeister.
Yeah, that came out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was all I drank when I was not that I support underage drinking or anything, but that's all I was drinking back in the day. And now just the thought of it. That and there was another cinnamon one called it was like Hot Damn. That man. I can't do the cinnamon whiskey no more.
I gotta run real quick to go get the boss lady. You're gonna be able to brief pause, talk shit to the people, whatever, cut a promo.
You're good. I can't see no comments or nothing if anybody's even saying anything. So how y'all doing? We should go hang out.
Ha! Did you cut your promo?
Oh yeah, you're good.
Like fuck this guy, he's so unprofessional. Didn't walk in the middle of the interview to go get his keys out of the truck from the boss lady in the short shorts.
Okay, I'm one of the most disorganized people I've ever met in my life. So,
well, I mean, like the one thing we do about our podcast, like we want to be professional but not professional.
Yeah,
you know, it makes for good radio to have that. I don't have to tweak or peak no more.
There you go. See, silver lining.
Yeah, fucking A, man. So what is your next shows coming up? Let's go ahead and shout your shit out there.
This weekend I'm just chilling at the house. I got a swing set to put up and shit. I got my domesticable things to do this weekend.
Domestical Stackhouse.
Domestics, yeah. And then next weekend, next Friday, I'll be in Houston where there's a memorial show for a fan that unfortunately passed away down there. And then I'll be doing that Friday night, then hopping in the car immediately, driving back all night because I got a 2:30 show in Wetumpka, Oklahoma on Saturday.
Where?
Wetumpka.
That's replacing a place.
Yeah, apparently I don't know where it's at, but it's in the state somewhere. I'm replacing JTG because apparently his ex manager was like screwed over like 3 or 4 feds or some shit. So he's not going to be there. So I'm going to take over, do what he was supposed to do. And then October, I've got a lot of Arkansas for some weird reason. Like I'm going to Arkansas on the random Thursday in Cabot. Then I'll be in Rogers and Springdale at the end of the month.
Are you healing or facing in Arkansas?
I know one place I'm a hill for sure. They put my bad guy picture on there and everything.
Here's the thing. So like when I was working on a construction site out here, we had these Arkansas like main contractors that subbed us to do shit. And everybody there was so sick of them. So I came up with the term Arkansas sister fuckers.
Hell yes.
And it got over. on the whole job site where everybody kept saying Arkansas sister fuckers.
Arkansas
There's a cheap pop for you.
Yes, sir. I'll take because it is cool. It's one place I'll be back in Harrison, and like it's another one of those like kind of full circle moments with like the little buzz and shit I got because I wrestled there in 2010 was the last time I went there, and then the promoter that runs there didn't fuck with me for the past however long it's been since 2010, 12 years, 13 years, whatever it was. He didn't fuck with me, and now all of a sudden I'm his champion, and I'm walking back up into Harrison. I won it in Springfield. And I'm walking back into Harrison as a champion. I ain't been there since 2010, so I can't wait. And I'm a heel, so I can't wait.
Oh, Peacock in there like a motherfucker.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. I'm gonna run that place to the ground. I can't wait. I'm excited because I don't get to be heel very often either. I've pretty much been a face, been a good guy my entire like the whole time. And I feel like I have my most fun when I'm being the heel. Like I have way more fun doing that
because like, you get to be the guy. Like
like I'm not as worried when I'm a heel. I'm worried about entertaining. I'm worried about fucking with the people. Like I ain't worried about hitting flashy moves. I ain't worried about doing any of that shit. I'm just worried about making sure these people are like into it and having a good time and stuff. So it's a whole lot funner being the heel. I don't know why these people. There's some people who won't do it and like they hate it and it blows my brain. But I mean, I don't mind being a face either. It's fun. Like I like to talk to people. I like to meet the people, which is. Like it's weird because on the weekends I'm like an extrovert, but I'm like I always tell people too I'm like the most introverted extroverted person like you've ever met in your life because I'm okay around people, but I'd also be okay if there was if I lived in like in a shack in Alaska somewhere and I only saw my family except for other people like once every few months or whatever.
Yeah,
but so and I'm not built for for the public, but
I mean, it's got to be one thing. The hard part about being a heel is if you do it too well, you're trying to sell merch in that intermission and shit. Like, oh, fuck that guy.
The good thing about these days is now people like it's not as people understand what it is, So it's not as hard to sell merch as a heel. Well, hey, little advice to young wrestlers: take that into account whenever you're talking about your booking fee. Don't be a heel. Maybe ask the promoter for an extra little bit because you're not going to sell any merch.
Yeah.
Little advice.
Say for another 25, I'll color.
Sure. Hey, that was one thing that blew my mind. The first time someone paid me extra to bleed, I was like, "This is a thing." I was like, "Because I definitely do this for free." Like,
like 25 to 35 extra,
that was another thing that I had to get used to coming from like I said, this stuff seemed to me to go from 0 to 60 overnight because my booking fee went from like lucky to break even to like actually making money. So it was and then like I said that whenever they asked me what my deathmatch fee was, I was like, there's like a separate thing for that. I was like, and I don't have to buy my own thumbtacks. What? What is this? Which is fantastic. If you're a promoter, it should be that way. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Promoting a deathmatch show, on the other hand, fucking
it's got to be expensive as fuck. I can't.
It is pricey. Gussets aren't cheap.
I didn't even think about it.
And then sometimes we'll have a show booked.
Got my gusset plate scars. Worked hard for those. Well, no, I can't get the camera right, but
sometimes you'll have
Oklahoma's first deathmatch. Left those scars.
But like me and my buddy, dude, we stayed up all night, dude, just drinking fucking vodka. Fucking making deathmatch weapons for the deathmatch show that I was promoting with Breath of Death Guido. And it was just like, we get there for the home run derby deathmatch. And what do you think of home run derby deathmatch? It's a bunch of wiffle ball bats with different shit. So we go in, and the guys fucking that are in the match are like, nah, I'm not going to fuck with that one. Nah, I'm not going to fuck with that one. And then they go out there and they lightsaber fight and knock all the shit off the gimmick. And they wanted deathmatch money. And I was like, the fuck? No, they don't get deathmatch money, dude.
I think the worst wiffle ball bat I've been hit with was a bottle cap one. I don't know why that somebody just fucked me up so bad, but that thing hurt. Yeah. That thing hurt. Because I've done the thumbtack ones, and homie had a barbed wire wrap glove one time on one fist, and then a thumbtack wrap or like bunch of thumbtacks on the other one. Fucked me up with that one too. That's wild.
Yeah, fucking, that's pretty sweet. But all right, man. Anyways, appreciate you coming on, dude.
Thanks for having me.
We'll have to fucking connect again. I'm gonna have to try to get everybody on. Try to get Dirty Ron on. Get Homeless Jimmy. Fucking, I still need to get Peter Be Beautiful on because I've been promising him for like the last 2 years. But I'm like, I've known you for like 10 years, Pete. But fucking, All right, man. It's fucking good talking to you. And fucking everybody watching. Thanks for watching. Check out what are your socials.
The Sam Stackhouse on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I got a pretty active Discord community right now. It's pretty fun. We stream on Twitch sometimes. Me and Fuego stream together on there. It's pretty fun. We're building this tune into Fuego's vlog. Catch me on there.
Okay.
On his YouTube channel. Yeah, I mean, I'm all over the place. So social medias is all over the place, unfortunately, and cool at the same time. But
all right, well, and what we say, our show, we have a very Eternian saying on when we exit shit out. We don't say goodbye. We say good journey.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.